Hello guys, welcome to Biosastra Talks. This is Gayatri. I hope all of you are doing well. Okay, let's go into the topic. Today we are going to discuss about the laws of Mendel, which will come under the topic of heredity and variation. Okay. Before going into the topic, we should know about the scientists. Some of the scientists who worked in the field of genetics. Okay, in that Wilhelm Johansen, he is a scientist who termed the gene who termed the gene. Okay, normally we used to say the gene as a unit of heredity, but he termed it as a gene and extracted it from the Greek word gonos. Gonos means offspring or procreation. Along with that, he also explained that set of alleles that are carried by an organism to the offsprings as genotype and that character as phenotype. Okay, for example, petal color of the flowers is genotype and the eye color of the humans is phenotype, which we can see. Okay, next after him, William Batson is an European scientist who named these copies of genes as alleles, and he is the founder of the term genetics. Means he named that study of these inheritable characters and functions of these genes as its study as genetics. Okay, these are the scientists who worked in the field of genetics. Okay, as we know already, Mendel worked on so many plants to explain the inheritance of the characters from parents to the offsprings. So he named those factors or characters as heritable factors or traits. Okay, to explain these, he used some of the laws. In that, we already discussed about the law of independent assortment in the first video. So here we are going to discuss about the remaining laws. In that, the first one is the law of dominance or law of uniformity. According to this law, normally the two homozygous parents that differ in one genetic character, means the two homozygous parents which are having homozygous means which are having the same genetic character will, when they are mated with each other, will give an offspring having equal genotypic and phenotypic characters. Okay, for example, here we took the height of the plant, we took some of the tall plants and some of them are dwarf or short plants. When they are crossed with each other, the F1 generation plants are having, all of them are having only tall plants, means the F1 hybrids are simply tall. Means although they are having the genes from both of the parents, they physically appear as tall. Okay, so here by this he explained that the dominant allele from the one of the parent is masking the action of the recessive allele from the other parent. Okay, so that's why it is known as the law of dominance or uniformity, because they are arranged uniformly and it is applicable to the F1 generation traits. Okay, so if it is also known as the complete dominance. Complete dominance means the dominant allele which is masking the action will have the same effect whether it is present in the homozygous state or in the heterozygous state. Like that, in the parental generation, the dominant alleles are present in the homozygous form. When it came to F1 generation, although it is in heterozygous condition, means it is having both dominant and recessive alleles, the result is always tall plants. Means the dominant allele will have the same action whether it is present in homozygous or heterozygous condition. Okay, normally it is applicable to all the plants and all the genes. So, but except for one plant, that is nothing but the Mirabilis chelapa. Why? Because when working or when doing experiments on these plants, one scientist known as Carl Correns observed that the flowers of the heterozygous parents have a phenotype somewhere in between homozygous genotypes. Means simply when he crossed the red flowers, here I give you one of the example, red flowered plants with white flowered plants, means here red color is the dominating one. When he crossed that red color of the flower with the white color of the flower plants, Normally we think that the F1 generation will have all the red colored flower plants, but what was the surprise means he got a pink color flowers. So what he thought, what was this? So by this he thought that the dominant allele is not masking the action of the recessive alleles. So here we can see the action of both of the dominant and recessive alleles, means to decide the character of the F1 hybrids, both the parents are playing the same role. Okay, when he again crossed that F1 hybrids, he got a combination of red flowers, pink flowers, and white flowers. Okay, so he explained this law as law of incomplete dominance. Why? Because the dominant allele is not showing or not masking the complete action of the recessive allele here. That's why it is known as the incomplete dominance. Okay, so after this Mendel also explained monohybrid cross. Monohybrid means here he used only one type of the character. That's why it is known as the monohybrid cross, by using the law of segregation. Segregation means nothing but the combination of the genes. Okay, combining means when two genes are combined with each other, the offspring will have effect of both of the parents. For example, here we took yellow seeded plants and green seeded plants. So when he crossed that yellow seeded plants with the green seeded plants, what was the result in the F1? We can say, according to the complete dominance, we'll get all of them are with yellow seeds only. Why? Because here these genes will show the complete dominance. But according to the law of segregation, the alleles from the each gene, if we discuss about the domination, it comes under the complete dominance. If we discuss about the segregation, here we can say that both the parents are combined or segregated with each other to give a F1 hybrid. So when he crossed that F1 hybrids, the result was some of them are having the yellow colored seeds and some of them are having the green colored seeds. Okay, so he shocked, why when we crossed both of them, why we got yellow and green. So then he observed that the genes are segregated with each other, and when they are crossed, that F1 hybrids are crossed with each other, so they are arranged in the form of some of them in the homozygous form and some of them in heterozygous condition. So by using this, he explained the phenotypic and genotypic ratios. So phenotypically they appeared like, for example, if we took 4 plants, 3 of them are having yellow seeds and 1 is having green seeds. That's why he gave the ratio of 3:1. And genotypically, 1 is having the dominant yellow colored seeds and 2 are having the heterozygous yellow colored seeds, means which is having both the dominant and recessive alleles, and 1 is having the dominant recessive allele, means recessive green color. So here he explained the 1:2:1 genotypic ratio. Okay, so by this law we can explain that the characters are carried from the parents to the F2 generation through the F1 hybrids. Okay, for example, simply we can say that the characters are inherited from grandparents to the grandchildren by the parents. Okay, this is nothing but the law of segregation. It is also known as the first law of Mendel because of its good outcome and its perfect result. Okay, so Oscar Hartwig and Edward van Beneden also gave a molecular proof to this law of segregation while they are doing work on the meiosis of the cell division on some plants. Means they observed the evolution of the characters from the parents to the grandchildren, parents to the offsprings. So they gave a complete molecular proof to this law. Okay, that's it guys. These are the, as I want to conclude you that these are the Mendel's laws of inheritance. So by using these laws, he explained the inheritance of characters from the parents to the offsprings. Okay. If you think this video is informative, just pass on to your friends and share it with your friends. and for future or further videos just subscribe to my channel Biosastra Talks. Okay, thank you guys.